everyone, it is I, Billy the Conqueror, and I'm here with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the absolute insanity and perversion that is Robbi Rodriguez. So for those of you that don't know, Robbi Rodriguez is yet another progressive comic book creator who is an artist working with Zoe Quinn for her Vertigo Comics project. And he got into a Twitter spat with Ethan Van Sciver, and like the typical SJW, he shows a very sick and perverse mind that most degenerates on the far left have, and he posted pictures of his anus and sent them to Ethan Van Sciver, as you can see right here. Robbi Rodriguez tweets saying, "Hey Ethan Van Sciver, I'm a big fan." So these tweets were archived and reposted by Darth Pools, the Turbo Front Hole. Attention, and it reads, "Attention, Marvel, DC Comics, C.V. Spolsky, Tom Brevoort, Jim Lee here. Jim Lee. Here is a censored screenshot of your freelancer Robbi Rodriguez's latest tweets. Do you think this is a professional way? Do you think this professional way for someone who represents your company to act? Hashtag Comicsgate." So this is yet just another example of a sick mind within the SJW comics community who have completely lost their minds, who are clearly insanely jealous of the success that the alternative comic book industry has been seeing, thanks to right-wing and non-far left-leaning creators getting out into the free market and making lots and lots of money and stuff. So they are now resorting to these sick sexual harassment tweets, which is ironic given that these are the same people who were complaining about Comicsgate participating in online harassment and sexual harassment as well. So apparently it's okay when they do it, but it's not okay when we do it, if we do it at all even, which I don't think any of us has ever done that, ever. So what is hilarious is that this person is associated with Zoe Quinn. Now, for those of you that don't know, Zoe Quinn was essentially the catalyst that started Gamergate back in 2014, when she supposedly slept with 5 big names in video game journalism to get grand reviews for a very terrible and just outright boring indie game known as Depression Quest, which for some reason got glowing reviews on Steam from the official reviewers and was basically given the go-ahead and highly recommended for whatever fucking reason. So over the course of the entire Gamergate controversy, Zoe Quinn was proven to be a pathological liar as well as a sociopath who had also committed online harassment as well. But of course, due to the shill mainstream media, they painted her as being a victim and the Gamergate people being the perpetrators of hate and harassment and abuse online. So that's the funny irony. She basically became the face of online harassment, her along with Nia Sarkeesian, while being a pathological liar and also being guilty of doxing people and among other disgusting things. But it's not surprising that SJW creators are doing shit like this. So once again, this is just another big glaring example of how sick and disgusting the comic book industry has become by hiring these sick individuals with disgusting and degenerate minds. So me personally, I am most definitely not going to be buying anything from Vertigo. I don't care how good it is. This is disgusting behavior, and I'm even contemplating potentially boycotting DC titles from now on, along with Marvel Comics titles as well, and any comic book company that is basically hiring these radical far left creators who can't separate their activism from their artwork and are being the most unprofessional, immature, and mentally deranged individuals on their social media websites. So yeah, I am starting to think that at this point, if we're going to go to war, we need to have a complete boycott of Disney and Warner Brothers to make them hurt. Because here's the reality. Disney doesn't care how bad Marvel's sales goes down. What they care about is movie ticket sales, which are still in the billions, and merchandise sales, which are still breaking in huge amounts of cash. That's what they really care about. It's probably the same thing for Warner Brothers. I'm not sure about Warner Brothers, but for Disney, their entire empire is basically built upon merchandise sales. So yeah, Disney cares more about the movie industry and their merchandise sales than you about comic books. If you think Disney's going to give a shit, they are not going to give a shit, which is why they keep hiring these sick people and stuff. So if you want to make Disney and Warner Bros. Do something different, you, number one, have to take away their movie ticket sales, and number two, you have to take out their merchandise sales. When those go down, then they're going to panic and clean house. What we want is a purge, a complete purge of the comic book industry to get these psychotically deranged people out of it. So until Disney and Warner Bros. Start losing huge amounts of money, nothing's going to happen. So either we have to basically wait until the comic book industry dies, or we're going to have to take direct action and call for a complete boycott of all DC and Marvel related material, merchandise, games, comic books, toys, anything basically with the Marvel or DC logo on it has to be boycotted in order to send a message and for their sales to really hurt. So a massive boycott is probably not going to happen, since boycotts tend to be very unpopular among the anti-SJW community, but it would potentially be effective if the money was definitely reduced that was being taken in by Marvel and DC. So we'll have to see. So it seems like right now more people are more focused on like getting their own comic books out there to try and counteract all these heavy SJW stories, as well as just focusing on the comic books that they like and just waiting to watch the comic book industry fall apart. So I'm kind of fine with either way, although I would prefer all-out war, because at this point I think it's definitely more than enough examples to prove that going to war with these sickos is perfectly justified. So this is just my opinion. I personally think Robbi Rodriguez needs to be fired from DC immediately and let go, and never to work in any mainstream comic book industry again, because he's a sick bastard. Either way, I guess it may not matter, because knowing DC and Marvel's track record, they might just let him stay on, because, policies and, professionalism only counts when you're conservative and right-wing and not an SJW and stuff. But when it comes to progressives, they can do whatever the fuck they want and be as vulgar, disgusting, and just like degenerate as ever. So yeah, this is just a rant I'm having, and it really pisses me off at how unfair the industry is to non-SJWs, but this is just the reality we're living in, because this progressive cancer is continuing to spread. Seriously, we need to stamp this out, and there needs to be a purge and a clean house of these psychotic SJWs. So anyway, this is just my take on this. If you like what you saw here, then please hit the like button, subscribe. This is Billy the Conqueror signing out.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh yeah!